Welcome everyone to the StarForce 66 podcast. We usually have Christian with us as our co-host, but he is on vacation this week, so it's gonna be just me for this week. Yeah, well, maybe someone will pop up to join the podcast, but you never know. So, but I just wanted to talk about the Mandalorian and maybe some other fun stuff towards the end of this episode of Star Wars 66 podcast. Each podcast that we're going to do is going to vary in length. Yeah, it could be how last week we had an hour and 8 minutes, and then this week, you never know, it could be 20 minutes. Well, you're probably going to know because I've finished it. I don't know at the time I'm talking right now. So, The Mandalorian Season 2 released is releasing each Friday, and the latest episode was episode 6, which it was outstanding. I don't know if it was my favorite because I like the first one. It was like so long ago. It was the longest one. I really like the first one, so I would say that one would be my first one I like the best. Second one so far, I would probably say Ahsoka. Third, I would say this one, then Bo-Katan this one, and then Bo-Katan would be fourth. But that's my ranking so far. It's probably going to change because, last season I liked the last one the best because of all the revealed stuff that we got. It was amazing. So here we go. I wanted to the actor who portrayed Boba Fett in this in the episode 6. I want to talk about Grand Moff Gideon, Baby Yoda. I have so many things to talk about with them later in the episode, but the actor who played him, Tamora Morrison, he was interviewed and he was asked a lot of questions about Star Wars, and I wanted to see what he had to say and just to find out as I record the podcast. I have not seen this yet. Just searched up Mandalorian. This was one of the interviews that popped up. So, how long have you been awaiting your opportunity to return to the Star Wars series? He said there was a lot of stuff online about a possible Star Wars bounty hunter film. And then I was watching all the new Star Wars movies coming out, wondering if they were ever going to do anything with the Jango Fett. My agent and I had a number of discussions. When are they going to call me? But then I kept forgetting about it. In this day and age, they have a number of options. They could have called other people to play the part. They can go with a fresh face. They could have called The Rock. I feel so grateful that after all this time, that something came to be. I would think they would have done Tamora Morrison because Boba Fett is a clone, and he's he played Jango Fett in Attack of the Clones, which I recently was watching a few clips from, and I realized how awesome that movie really was and really entertaining. And I used to think that was one of my least favorite Star Wars movies. Now I would have to say that might make my top four. Might make my top four, but each movie, the prequels and the originals, each one of those I really enjoy watching. What happened when you finally got the call that the series creator Jon Favreau and executive producer Dave Filoni wanted to meet with you? I wasn't even quite sure about what The Mandalorian was about, and I kind of knew that Jango and Boba had their own Mandalorian history. So I think when they called him, they had not released The Mandalorian yet, so that's probably why he was not sure of it. At the time, I was in Los Angeles meeting on another film, so I was pleasantly surprised to get the call. I actually got to the meeting quite early. I was so excited. I got there about 2 hours early, and there were conceptual drawings on the wall. I saw an image that even looked like me, and I said, I'm sure that's me, but even then, I didn't want to get too excited. What did you discuss with them in the meeting? I was just listening. I wasn't discussing anything. I'm just nodding, going, yes, yes. Obviously, they had their ideas about what they wanted me to do, and they must have told me what they wanted me to play the role again. But I was so nervous that some of it was just going straight over my head. I was going, wow, this is great. It wasn't until I got back in the car after the meeting that I went, is this actually going to happen? But as you saw, it happened. All right. Yeah. It's a picture here, Jango Fett. Yeah, he looks a lot bigger, but he's a lot older. Did they talk Did they talk about his being a different, more seasoned Boba Fett than we saw earlier in the Star Wars films? Yes. When we find Boba, he's well worn and he's been through a lot. He's a survivor and he's weathered. Now it was time to find out more about what makes Boba mad. Is he more than just a simple man trying to make his way through the galaxy? Is he tired of all the fighting? Is he tired of all the killing? The one thing I can relate to is I'm quite a mature man now, and things always change. And sometimes you're in Hollywood and all the magazines and newspapers, and sometimes you end up in the fish and chip shop in New Zealand. Okay, New Zealand. I like New Zealand. It's pretty cool. Where all the magazines, all magazines are, and papers go. Your old news. Okay. Did your makeup and costume also help you find the character? I was doing that kind of background work. What's this guy going to look like? What's he going to sound like? While they're applying makeup, I'm going, well, here he is. We did quite a number of makeup tests, and I worked closely with the makeup artist Brian Sipe. When I saw some of the scars on my face, I thought, well, maybe he does talk a little bit gravelly. Maybe his vocal cords have been affected as well. Then you put the costume on, and it gives you a sense of power. The costume makes you feel like Superman. When I put the armor on for the first time, it just felt right. It's cool. How did you incorporate your culture background into the role? I come from the Maori nation of New Zealand, the indigenous people. We're the down under Polynesians, and I wanted to bring that kind of spirit, energy, which we call warrior. I've been trained in dance, which we call haka. So it's basically saying all this background and all that. How were you originally cast in the Star Wars prequels? I give praise to George Lucas, who made me Jango Fett in the first place. We filmed in Sydney, Australia, of course. So we used quite a few actors from New Zealand and Australia. It wasn't long after Once Were Warriors that I met with the casting people of Star Wars, and I feel that's the movie that launched me in Hollywood. It wasn't a big movie, box movie, office movie. I said movie like 6 times here in America, but people in the industry saw it, and that opened a few more doors for me, that's for sure. What do you remember about your time on the set of Attack of the Clones? I just had so much fun. I think I might have been killing George because I'd be singing on set, playing around with the weapons and wearing the outfits. I think I had too much fun, but I thought, man, if I get another opportunity to do this, I'm going to really get into it and do the best job I can do. Did George Lucas explain to you that you would end up playing all these other characters who were cloned from Jango Fett? Even when I finished the filming process, there was still quite a bit of work to do. I would keep getting calls from George. Okay, I just need you in the studio to voice some more stuff. One moment I'm the voice of this, and then another guy, and then another guy, and then Commander Cody, and then a whole elite strike force. Things just kept going and going and going, but I didn't mind. Oh, that's so funny because he kept on getting called because how he's the voice of every single clone. And he had to keep on doing these voices for like thousands of clones. And he's probably like, why? Like, why don't I, like, why am I the voice of this entire movie? Just name this movie about me. All right. Do you often hear from Star Wars fans who felt that, oh, wait, hold on. Who felt that the Jango Fett suffered an unexpected, abrupt death? Yes, well, I know the feeling. I ended up watching Attack of the Clones in Dallas, and I was so excited to watch it with this new Dolby sound at the theater. I was just starting to enjoy myself when I got killed. Wow, this is good. There I am. But anyway, my journey in Attack of the Clones was pretty short-lived, but that was a long time ago. Now I'm back again. I'm sorry that you're going to get this question a lot, but the tragedy doesn't address how Boba Fett survived his encounter with the Sarlacc. Has that been explained to you? And do you know how the character stayed alive? I have not looked yet, but I know he's probably going to say no. It's not been explained to me. Why? No, I don't. Yep, that's right. There's quite a bit of loose ends, and I'm not one of those guys that knows too much about the actual history. The fans of Star Wars, they have better knowledge of what's happened. How can he still be alive? I thought he was struck in this place. I can find out more on the internet. Has there been any talk of your returning as Boba Fett, whether on The Mandalorian or other Star Wars projects, even a series of his own? I'm just I'm just going to have to wait and see. I think a lot of it depends on how things go with the season, but I don't really know. I wanted to bring everything I had to that episode and give them a glimmer of what I can offer. There's room for this to go someplace. I hope I'm going to be included. I'm hoping to team up with Baby Yoda at some point, as you can see on screen. Baby Yoda is probably the biggest actor in Hollywood at the moment, but I never got to work with him closely or with the people who move him around. I was using him in a not so good way of bait, but hopefully I'll get to meet him and we can have a little bonding session. Okay, so hopefully you get to meet him. So I think we're gonna keep on seeing Boba Fett for episode 7. I can't wait to see them. I'm hoping they just they don't spend too much time trying to find Mayfield, and because I want to see more of, Moff Gideon and Boba Fett. And let's see here. Boba Fett makes an awesome comeback. Yeah. All right. So what's another thing? I was gonna make a video on this, but you know what? I was saving it actually for the podcast. It was basically like a translation of Boba Fett message that he was showing Din Djarin, like where he came from and all that. He says from left to right, foundling took into the year the Concord Dawn, mentor Jace, father Fett, Boba Fett. So mentor Jast actually is let's see what is this talking about here. So what's the translation? To start with Concord Dawn, actually. That's the home planet of Jango Fett. And back to Jango, this is where the foundling part comes in. Like Mando, Jango was a foundling, okay? Mentor Jas is actually a reference to Jaster Morril, which was the person who adopted Jango Fett. He was from Mandalore and the leader of the Mandalorians on the homeworld for them. And on Concord Dawn, which is also Morril's home planet, he saved Jango Fett from when he was young. I could actually do a video on this. This is pretty. This would be a pretty interesting video about what the story was with Jango Fett. So what happened is Morril saved Jango Fett when he was young from the Death Watch, which we know if you've seen Clone Wars, you know what type of group they are from the Clone Wars. When and then Morril was murdered, Jango succeeded him as a new Mandalorian. Okay. So what our takeaway from that is that the Fets have a strong connection to being called Mandalorians, although I didn't think they were Mandalorians because of what Almec says in the Clone Wars, how Jango Fett is just a common bounty hunter, not a Mandalorian, as well as Dave Filoni himself in lots of interviews has said that no, he's not a Mandalorian. But I guess judge from a certain point of view. Robert Rodriguez wasn't the first choice to direct last week's episode of The Mandalorian. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, they had to change it. I think there was like a recent cancellation. I think there was like a cancellation of what happened, and that's why they did that. So no, that's gonna be it from just reading a few articles. I wanted to get some other people's thoughts besides mine, into the show and see what could come up with it. So now these, I'm just gonna be talking about things that come up with in my head, and things I find interesting in this last episode of The Mandalorian. So let me see here. Just think. Who do you think Grogu could have contacted while he was on Tython? Who do you think? I'm gonna get closer to the mic, so maybe you get louder. So maybe you have to cut the volume down 1 or 2. Okay, here we go. Who do I think? And then I'm gonna say who I think. I want him to contact Luke Skywalker because it is a very good possibility. Because Luke Skywalker is searching for Jedi to train. And so Grogu could have reached out to Luke. He could have reached out. I don't think he reached out to Mace Windu. But I mean, maybe the Cal Kestis if Vader would not have killed him at this time, or maybe. Maybe Ahsoka probably felt the presence of Grogu because she was expecting it. Um, don't know. New Jedi Ezra, maybe. I don't know. I wanted to be Luke, but maybe it was Palpatine. Maybe it wasn't just a light side user because this was a balance, and we see maybe Grogu uses a balance type of Force energy when he was on Tatooine, when he was on Words Anywhere, basically. So if I had to guess who he contacted, Luke Skywalker. How I think it's going to end is just similar to Last Jedi, but hopefully we get something better to end that ends up with that. Just Luke Skywalker popping out in the end to help them when all hope seems lost, perhaps, and when everybody loses. I don't think the Mandalorian's going to die. The show's named after him. He's not going to die, in my opinion. I mean, someone who could die in this season, I would think. It could be Gideon. It could be Grim Moff Gideon. It could be Gideon who dies. And then, Thrawn overtakes, perhaps. That would be interesting. And not just Gideon. Let's see who else could die. Fennec Shand again. I mean, I don't see that. I don't see her dying twice. Especially in 2 back-to-back seasons. I don't want Boba Fett to die, but I have a feeling that could happen. Yeah. I mean, maybe. So I don't think Ahsoka would die actually if to come back. But yeah, okay. So what's gonna happen now is that's gonna be it for our Mandalorian talk. Although let's do one more conversation. The end of this episode, we see Grogu and Grand Moff Gideon. Grand Moff Gideon says, just to me, he seems like he has a history with with Grogu. Just to me. And I made a video on this, of course, but he says, do you remember one of these from years past? So does he know that he's been trained? How does he know this? Who has he been with that figure this information out? I mean, he is a Grand Moff anyway. So, I mean, I would think that he knows just as much as Grand Moff Tarkin did, which of course Grand Moff Tarkin knew Vader. And of course, of course he probably knew Vader and Palpatine and all that. That's undeniable, which I like saying that word. But I'm very interested in finding out what happens to Grogu and the history of him. And I think we're going to figure out lots of things later this season, in a few weeks, next week, and 2 weeks from now, and even more information from season 3 and all that. So without further ado, we're going to get ahead and talk to our guest of our guest, you could say. I mean, I don't know. It's not really a guest to a guest because our normal co-host is Christian, but this is going to be just a guest on a one-time show. And, she's kind of like our backup, you could say, for the podcast co-host. Here it is. Here she is. Here it. I called you an it to begin.
Wow, River. Wow.
Sorry. So, welcome.
River, stop.
I cannot stop it, actually. We're going to set a podcast. We do no editing and all that. So anyway, that was a weird intro. That was probably the worst intro I've ever done. But it's a podcast. Yeah. Can't really do any editing. But this is good. You're going to be a guest on the show. How do you feel?
I feel excited.
You feel excited? That's all right. That's good. Normally we're gonna have Christian, like I said, but you're gonna pop up here every once in a while, right?
Yep.
Pop up here. All right. So, this is StarForce here. That's a really weird name. I hate saying that. Okay. So, well, we thank you once again for joining us, and so we actually interviewed you was it about 2 months ago?
It was a while ago.
A while ago. I remember our interview for we did it for about 40 minutes. I don't know how long this will be, you never know, but I enjoyed it, and I asked you a lot of interesting questions. And do you remember, what was your do you have anything that you've changed since then? Because
I'm not sure, but I think I had braces, but I got pink braces instead of blue.
Okay. That's
Yeah, that's something I changed. Oh,
that
something
that's something you've changed. Okay, that's
I changed.
cool. Cool. So
Oh,
well,
we got quail.
Quail. Okay. Nice. So that's a lot of things that's been happening since we've last talked to you, and it was very. I had a good time. Um, Now let's go ahead and start on our first topic of which so you know how each Star Wars movie is separated into three movies, right? Well, each trilogy, you could say, it's separated into three things. There's the ones that came out in 1977, 80,
Oh
80, and 83. And then, those ones, 1999, 2002, 2005, and then recently, 2015, 2017, 2018, actually, and then 2020, 2019. So, you know how there's different things. And they're actually called the originals because they're the first ones to come out, sequels because they're the second ones, and the prequels. I mean sequels, third one's my bad. So which one would you think is your favorite to watch out of those options?
I either like the
Because
first, third. I think the first because it had like most of my favorite characters in the first one. Like
yeah,
Leia, and I like Princess Leia, Han, and Luke because they're like the three like main important characters in the movie. So
yeah, that's yeah. I think you actually said that last time. You enjoyed the originals,
well,
if I'm not mistaken.
and I kind of like the new ones that came out because they have
Mm.
like use new technology that they can make more effects or.
Yeah, we've actually been seeing that recently with the Mandalorian, but I don't know if you have. I think you know what you can also do is you don't have to wait till each Friday to watch it, but you could just wait for them all to come out, and then after that you could just watch it like 6 hours straight. Although I don't know if you would do that, but maybe three.
I'm not gonna watch TV 6 hours straight. That would be crazy. Well, actually, I did watch Gone with the Wind, the whole thing. It took like 5 hours. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's not unspeakable, but I mean
It's
it's
not
very
impossible,
rare.
but it'll take a lot of your time, and I have a lot of stuff to do. More important than watching television. Television. I can't talk today. Television.
Yeah. Well, now, thank you for being with us, to taking time out of your very busy schedule.
Oh,
Um,
something else new happened. I got a ukulele.
You got a ukulele? Okay, that's cool. That's nice. Now, do you know any instruments that are actually in Star Wars?
Oh, the crazy alien people was playing the saxophone.
Yeah, the
Their,
saxophone.
their weird fingers are like this long, like
The crazy. What I actually recently watched with you. Remember the bad lip reading, right?
oh.
For the Star Wars bad lip reading, my favorite one is "Every day I worry all day. I was worried in the bushes of love." It makes no and but the funniest part about it is that it looks like they're actually saying that. And I just think to myself, imagine if they're actually saying imagine if they actually had said that in the
Oh,
movie. Would it have been a popular movie then?
it would be really funny. And
It
I
would make no
want
sense.
this Yoda stick. This is my stick. I
Oh
traveled
yeah.
all the way here after the billion years to show you my stick.
Yeah. And then he just kept like hitting R2 with the stick over and over again. And then the rhythm's like matching perfectly to how
Yeah,
he's hitting him with the stick.
exactly what they're saying. They're really cool to watch. Okay.
Yeah. It is. I enjoyed it. Well, I talked before you got into podcast, so I don't know how long we're gonna be doing this here, but um if you want to hear the other interview of you, it's back on the very first episode, I believe. I interviewed you, and near the end of the episode for about 40 minutes, you told us you were watching Star Wars Resistance. I
Oh,
wasn't a
that
huge
was
fan
a
of that.
long time ago.
Yeah, that was actually the last time we did that, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. I don't. I decided
I
I
don't
didn't
think
like
that
it.
anymore. I like real people shows. I mean, it wasn't
Of
bad.
course.
I don't really like what's it called?
I mean, they make that
Real
for
live action. Yeah.
yeah, they make it for kids
I wish I
specifically.
wish they came out with another season or another episode or something like that.
And you like the Lego stuff. The Legos were really
When
funny.
I'm really into it, and there's just like one small season, and it never gets any more. It's very irritating.
Yeah. So recently, actually, there was the Lego. Remember the Lego Star Wars that came out on Life Day? Which was that? Was that November 11th? I think it was. No, not November 11th. It was on November 27th, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know when Life Day. Let me look up when Life Day is. When is Life Day? It is on I don't know, November 17th. There we go. Okay. So you watched that Star Wars Legos. How did you enjoy that?
That was actually pretty cool. Like Ray went back and forth into like different places
Time
that
periods.
like took place. Like one was when Yoda was training Luke. One was when
That was the first one, yeah.
one was with, let me think, Darth Vader, and another one was with it's really cool how they go back in time. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely liked it.
Yeah. But
Um
there was this other show I liked. It's also Legos. What's it called, River? I was watching it.
I don't know who you're talking about actually. But I did enjoy it. It was really cool seeing her go back in time. I thought that was really, really cool. And then just like it was really funny how I thought it was gonna be like how Vader and Rey, how they kept on going back. And my favorite part out of that show was probably when Vader was talking to himself, like his past self. Remember that?
That was
He's like, What are you doing? What are you doing here?" I mean, it didn't really sound like him, but it was still funny. And
yeah.
also with Palpatine, and all
Oh,
the Lego things, they always make Palpatine like the funniest character.
it was
You know?
also, I know, like I
The
can't remember what
Hey, I was eat spaghetti. I don't know something.
but oh, it's also funny how Luke met his like future self before he knew any of the Star Wars things. Like when he was still working on his uncle's plantation, I guess. But like he had no idea what was going on, and he was kept on going back.
Oh, he when he went to the future with Ray, he was like, "Wait, what is What is happening here? Like, I have no idea." Although he still had a good idea, so I mean that's good. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to our. I remember last time I interviewed you, I called it the Yoda questionnaire, but we have actually changed it. Yoda actually transferred all of his questions to the Jedi Council, and now each member of the Jedi Council wants to ask you a
Oh,
question. But there's only 5 questions at the max. I told them that, so they gathered around their top most 5 interesting questions that they wanted to ask you, and I'm gonna and they emailed me all of them. They're separate emails. It was
I
really
didn't know they used the email. That's interesting.
yeah, it was on Coruscant. They have some pretty good signal there. And Mace Windu, he actually sent me the longest email out of his question. His question was the first question actually, and he really wanted to know this one. So and he asked me to say it in his accent. So I'm gonna try saying it in Mace Windu's accent. All right. Who or what is your favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, that did not sound like him at all. Well, my favorite Star Wars character. It's a good question. Like, good job, Mace.
Yeah,
Um,
he asked some pretty good questions. Although none of them are about Anakin. So if you say Anakin, he's not gonna like that.
my favorite character would either be Princess Leia or maybe Han Solo. Solo.
What?
Maybe Han, or maybe I kind of like Rey too. She's nice.
You do?
But probably Princess Leia, I think.
Okay, so yeah, I believe that's what you said last time. Is there a reason behind that?
I mean, I like her buns.
Yeah, have you ever done your hair like that before?
I actually have before. It looked really cool.
Wait, you have? How
I
long
think
ago was that?
like when I was like, I don't know, but I think I have. I can just do here. Let me see if I can do it real fast.
All right.
Oh no, I don't have two rubber bands, but it kind of looks like this,
Oh yeah, that's right.
little buns, braided buns.
Okay,
But
cool.
yeah, and I like Ray's hair too. How she does like little loops.
Like the three style. What do you call it?
The three, yeah. But I think that it's cool that she was like the first female character in the movie, and she
Yeah,
knows her stuff.
true.
Um,
Okay, now the second one. Who do you want me to say? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the second one was actually emailed to me by, who was this? I can't read it. Let me go back. Hmm. Okay, Plo Koon. I don't know if you know who that
I'm
is.
just staring at Baby Yoda.
Yeah. All right. Plo Koon did the second one. What is your least favorite Star Wars character?
Whew. My least favorite Star Wars character would be the duck face alien creatures. I hate them. They're like so awkward and weird. Ugh.
The duck face. All right, mine's definitely Zero the Hutt. If you've seen Clone, if I don't know if you've seen, I don't know if you know what that is. It's like Jabba's cousin. He
I don't
sounds
like
so weird.
Jabba's just mean. I don't like Jabba.
Yeah,
No Jabba.
yeah. Um. Okay, so there we go. Now the next one. I don't maybe I don't remember who sent this to me. So you just tell me who you want me to talk like for the next one
Um, talk like whoever you want.
from the Jedi Council. Okay.
Yoda. Talk like Yoda.
Yoda, what Star Wars moment always makes you smile or laugh out loud?
What did
That
you
was
just say?
that was horrible. What Star Wars moment always makes you smile or laugh out loud?
Oh, I like the ending of the Rise of Skywalker. I think it's really sweet. I like everyone like
No,
a
but no,
lot of
what makes you okay? Oh, you're right. Smile or laugh out loud. Okay, okay. So that's
I
the
think
ending of the Rise of Skywalker.
it made me smile like when everyone comes over when they least expect it. They're all like, "We're never gonna win. Everything is horrible," and then everyone just pops up like so many and so sweet. They're like, "Yay!" It's so happy.
Okay,
I like that moment.
okay. Your opinion. Nice.
What moment do you like?
Oh, there's so many. I would have to think. I don't know. Probably. What moment I like, or I'm just trying to think. The first moment that pops to my head is what makes me laugh is probably Obi-Wan when he talks to Anakin on. I've recently seen Attack of the Clones or just clips from it, and I remember Obi-Wan when he's saying when Anakin told him we decided to rescue you, and then and when he said good job. It's from the end of the second movie when they tried to rescue Obi-Wan. Remember that? I don't, it's a small part, but he says, good job. Okay, here we go. The next one is going to be given by, let's see. I got to figure out. I got to look up on my email who sent this one to me. I thought I would remember it, but I guess I forgot. It was
Tell
Obi-Wan. No, he's not. It was, Obi-Wan Kenobi. He
oh,
sent it to me. Yeah.
all right.
You know him. All right. What Star Wars say in a moment always makes you sad?
Um, I think I kind of understood that. That was a terrible Obi-Wan.
Thank you.
Okay, I think it's sad. Like all the sad parts. I don't like talking about the sad parts. Okay, I
Well, yeah,
heard.
we won't spend lots of topics on this one, I
I
guess.
don't
Lots of time.
really like. It's really sad when like Luke arm bam. That's sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
And also when like Darth Vader becomes Darth Vader, that's sad. I haven't watched that part. My mom, I wasn't allowed to. So, but
Yeah,
I heard it
well,
was
that's
really,
good.
and I know he turned bad, and I heard it was really sad. So I think.
Yeah, it really is sad. My personal recent I've seen this recently, but that's probably the only reason.
What
Just
was
for,
sad? It's
It's the
sad.
first thing that comes to my mind. What is it?
It's sad when Leia dies. That's sad.
Yeah, that's true. But my saddest part, I would think, is when Anakin's mom dies.
That's sad too.
Wow,
And when
how
someone dies or hurts himself,
and
that's
it's
sad.
just whenever you think how he hadn't seen her in like all those years, and he promised that he would come one day to rescue her and save her, and now that never happened. That's probably what I would think the saddest part. Okay, so moving on to our very last question, and this one is going to be given by a special member of the Jedi. Two wanted to give this one to. Yeah, so I thought that was interesting.
Oh, can I speak to no, Yaddle? Is that her name?
Yaddle. Okay, yeah, Yaddle and Anakin. You know what's interesting in Legends? Yaddle actually saved Anakin's life, and that's actually how Yaddle died, for saving Anakin's life. Okay, so here we go. Yaddle. We've never seen her talk, so I'm just gonna guess. What's your Star Wars favorite movie?
What?
Now here's Anakin. What is your favorite Star Wars movie? You can understand Yaddle, could you?
No, not a thing. Not a word. Okay,
That word, not a single word.
not a single word. Okay, either A New Hope, maybe,
Okay.
with all the old characters. I don't know.
That's the first that comes to your mind?
I like when you introduce all the new characters. It's basically like the first movie that came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's cool. I like that.
Was that the first one that you saw? Do you remember?
It's the first one that came out, like 19.
Yeah, but which one was the first one that you actually saw? Do you remember?
It was A New Hope
A New
because we
Hope?
were over at our friend's house, and we wanted to have a whole marathon watching Star Wars, and I never watched it before. And I
Yeah.
think A New Hope was where we started off because
I had watched it, but I hadn't really
we're not
understand
going
it
to
at the
start from
time.
the beginning, but we're going to start from where they started making it. I remember seeing
Mm-hmm.
like it was funny because
I
we
really
saw
enjoyed
like
that.
we saw like Luke like when he was like like the first time you saw Luke, my mom was like, "Whoa, he looks way different from the other episodes." I'm like, "What
Yeah.
are you talking about? Who's Luke? What are you talking about?"
That was so long ago. I
I,
actually remember that too. I remember that.
I remember that.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining us today, Ava-Mia. I know you couldn't spend a long time with us, but we enjoyed it today anyways. And you may see her sooner than later, maybe once again, but you never know. She come maybe next month sometime or a few months from now. So, and we enjoy talking to her and having her on the show when we can.
Thank you.
A great guest. So, any closing thoughts you would like to say?
Well,
And until next time, is anything going to change? Until next time we see you?
oh, probably next time we'll have like a small surgery in my bottom tooth. They're gonna pull it out.
I don't know if you could see it. You could tell through the camera. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
How it's like little like tilting down. Well,
Yeah.
they're gonna pull it out, and my braces are gonna pull it all together.
That was the funniest part. All right, the way you said it was really funny. All right, when this comes out, I'll send it to you. But anyway, thank you for joining us. I can't wait to see you in real life in just a few seconds.
Can't wait
But
till we get to talk again.
yep, for sure. Well, we thank you once again.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.